Okay guys, welcome back to art class. Today we are going to talk about an artist statement. An artist statement is a really important thing for artists. And I think sometimes we forget that. We think we're just going to make the artwork and then, we're going to get rich and famous and people are just going to buy it. But an artist statement, what it does is it shows your audience what you were thinking, what you did during the process of making this artwork, and it makes people interested in your artwork. One of the students from the other school said, it's like a little advertisement for my merch, right? So if you think about merch, people want to buy somebody that they like their merch, their merchandise, right? And so that's what artists do too. They create an artist statement. It explains the name of the artwork, the steps that they took, and it might explain some of the feelings that the artist had towards the artwork. And that creates interest because artists make money when people buy their artwork. Okay, so an artist statement can help you to get some interest in your artwork. And then the last thing, I always like to end an art statement by talking just about art in general, because you don't just want people to buy this one artwork. You want to create interest in all of your artwork so that you have lots of money coming in if you're going to make your living as an artist. So let's take a look at this. The first thing it says is the title of my artwork. You can make up any title you like. Usually artists tend to name it something that has to do with what they were working on. So you guys made color wheel. Some of you might want to call this the color wheel. Remember, the first and last words are always going to be capitalized, and any important words in the middle. So on mine, all three words would be capitalized. The, color, and wheel. You can name it anything you want. I had a student at the other school who named it Billy Bob Joe. That's fine. That's fine. You can name it that way. You have to capitalize any important words. So all of those are names. They'd all be capitalized. Come up with a name right now and write it down on your paper. The next sentence says, the media or materials I used to create this artwork was, and we used acrylic paint. I want everybody to write acrylic. Write down acrylic paint. It's not watercolor. It's not tempera. Acrylic is a little more permanent. It's more, I think of it as more artistic than those other kinds. And so we want people to know it was acrylic. Okay, the next part of this says, creating this artwork was a process. First I, and then it gives a blank, then I, and a blank, and then finally I, and gives a blank. Now, we had so many steps in creating this artwork, but I only gave you space for 3. So I'm going to talk through all of the steps, and you're going to pick what you think are the 3 most important and write them in order on those lines, okay? So first, you guys, you got a paper, a template where you had to cut out all the shapes. Then you got a white piece of paper, you had to draw a big circle on it, and then you put the shapes out. You traced around the shapes with Sharpie. You labeled the shapes with names, and then you got your primary colors just right from the cups. You got red, yellow, and blue. And then finally you had to mix the secondary and tertiary colors. Okay? So you're going to write your steps. Just fill in there. First I, and then pick one of the steps that you think was important at the beginning. And write that there. Then pick a middle step that you thought was important. Put that after then. And then finally choose one that you thought was important at the end. Then it says, my favorite part of the artwork is, maybe it's a certain color. Maybe you really liked how your blue-green turned out. Or maybe you really liked getting to mix the colors. Maybe you really liked using the ruler to create the triangle for primary and the inverted triangle for secondary colors. The next one says, the most difficult part of creating this artwork was, so what was hard? I know there were challenges here. For some people, it might have been mixing a certain color. Maybe it was really, really hard for you to get that perfect orange. Maybe it was hard for you to paint neatly. Maybe it was hard for you to spell the names correctly on the labels. What was hard for you? And then the last sentence, the concluding sentence of this little paragraph says, my favorite thing about creating this artwork. So in general, what do you like, or not about this artwork, sorry, just about artwork in general. What's your favorite thing? For some people, maybe it's creative. Maybe it's challenging. Maybe it's relaxing. Maybe it helps you on a bad day. So you're going to write that there. You're going to turn in this completed artist statement with your completed color wheel, hopefully both at the end of today.